If you look at the WWE roster, you'll notice that almost all the wrestlers have clean-shaven bodies, including the men. There are a few reasons why wrestlers don't have any body hair. One is muscle definition. Wrestlers want to look their best, and having no hair allows their bodies and muscles to pop and stand out. Another reason wrestlers don't usually have body hair is for safety. When a wrestler has hair, they run the risk of it getting caught on something or creating a rash. One other reason wrestlers do this is to respect their opponent. Bacteria can build up in hair and create body odor, which can happen fast since wrestlers sweat so much. No one wants to be put in a headlock or another close contact move by someone who smells bad, so out of courtesy, wrestlers shave their bodies. We see WWE wrestlers carrying around the Money in the Bank briefcase often, but we rarely see what's actually inside of it. We all know that the person who wins Money in the Bank receives a contract for a WWE Championship match at any time and any place. But is that what's really in there? Well, in 2010, when The Miz was Mr. Money in the Bank, the briefcase accidentally opened. It turns out that WWE actually doesn't keep anything inside of the briefcase, not even a pretend contract. If you notice this on a WWE wrestler's body, it means they are probably taking steroids. These pimples and acne are often a side effect of steroid use. No one knows exactly why this happens, but a theory is that steroids contribute to the body's production of immune system receptors, which leads to acne breakout. Since wrestlers usually don't cover their bodies, it's very difficult to hide an acne outbreak. Around the time Jinder Mahal became WWE champion, his body had undergone a drastic change, and he looked very different compared to how he did less than a year earlier. Additionally, he started having noticeable pimples on his back, leading fans to speculate that Mahal had been using steroids. A wrestler quit WWE because he couldn't afford to work for them. While big-name wrestlers can make a lot of money, less popular wrestlers don't make nearly as much. Additionally, wrestlers have to pay for the majority of their travel expenses, like the hotel they stay at, the rental car they use, the food they eat, and more. This can get really expensive, and a wrestler named Super Crazy quit WWE because of it. Crazy lived in Mexico and was only getting paid $500 for each show he was on. Because of all the expenses and the amount he was earning, Super Crazy realized he couldn't afford to keep doing this and quit WWE. WWE championships are not what they used to be. Traditionally, WWE's title belts had snap buttons to connect them around a wrestler's body. However, more recently, WWE has switched to using Velcro. The reason is to make it faster for wrestlers to put their championship around their waist. Additionally, Velcro also makes it easier for any wrestler to wear a championship, regardless of their size. Unfortunately, the Velcro does make the titles kind of look like toy replicas and not the real deal. After winning the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 9, Hulk Hogan went to wrestle in Japan. He had the championship with him during a press conference and said this:
"This belt is just a toy. It's like a trinket on a Christmas tree, like an ornament. The belt that I want is the one that the great Muta has, the IWGP belt."
Hogan didn't think the fans in the US would hear these comments, but about a month after disrespecting the WWE Championship, the Hulkster would lose the title to Yokozuna. Before becoming a wrestling legend, Booker T was a criminal. By age 13, Booker had lost both of his parents. He started working at a Wendy's restaurant to support himself and his siblings. Money was still an issue for Booker T, so he decided to rob the Wendy's that he worked at. He got away with it and ended up committing over 20 armed robberies at different Wendy's locations. Booker and his accomplices wore their Wendy's uniforms during the robberies, so police eventually figured out that it was someone who worked at the restaurant who was committing the robberies. Booker was arrested at the age of 22 and spent a little over a year and a half in prison. As he was leaving the prison, a police officer looked at Booker T and said, "I'll see you when you get back." Not only did Booker never go back to prison, but he also became a multi-time world champion and eventually a WWE Hall of Famer. The government once thought a WWE storyline was real. In 2020, the US federal government was working on a series of public service announcements that would educate citizens about the COVID-19 pandemic.